So even with her, she made it a point to buy black. However, if the suppliers of that black vendor are not black, then you all of a sudden see what's called leakage.
This is Blair Durham with Black Wall Street Today, your media hub for all things black entrepreneurship, politics, news, and events in Hampton Roads and beyond.
Are you a 757 business owner? Do you desire to make new connections and grow your community involvement? Could you benefit from taking classes to sharpen your skills? Well, join Black Brand, Hampton Roads Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. Completing a membership application is simple. Just click onto our website at www.blackbrand.biz or download the app. We look forward to meeting and building with you soon.
Welcome back. It's the 99th edition of Black Wall Street Today with Blair Durham. Best of Black Business, Volume 12. Time to feature now Miss Cheree Warrick. Sorry, I butchered it again. Cheree Warrick, I'm sorry. She serves as the chairman of the board and chief executive officer of the 10K Project. She's responsible for the overall success of the business, leading the development and executing long-term strategies. Ms. Warrick began her career as an administrative assistant for an investment firm and worked her way up to a senior financial analyst at a $200 million government contracting company. Ms. Warrick is no stranger to entrepreneurship, as she held an instrumental role in the success of her mother's bookkeeping business, helping her mother achieve her 6-month revenue goal within 3.5 months. After writing an impressive business plan for the company, Ms. Warrick opened a business plan writing company, writing business plans for entrepreneurs and helping them raise capital. Ms. Warrick has a Bachelor's of Science in International Business from American University and a Master of Science in Finance from George Washington University. Welcome to the show, Ms. Warrick. How are you?
Thank you. Hello. Well, thank you so much for having me.
No, I'm blessed to have you today. So talk to us a little bit about the 10K Project. I've been seeing it popping up everywhere. Let us know kind of what it is and how we can engage with it.
Sure. So the 10K Project is all about economic wealth building from the ground up. We often hear about, the programs that we can have from the top down, whether it's from governments or big corporations, but what can we do to build wealth from the ground up? And it's based on a study that was done that talks about the fact that it takes 3.5% of a community in order to make social change. Well, if we're able to make social change, let's make economic change as well.
Sure.
Do that through increasing income, through investing in assets, through building generational wealth, and through entrepreneurship. So we have a lot of information and resources for people who want to do those things.
Okay. So primarily focused on providing resources, providing information. Is there a capital access component of your program as well?
So we are working on that right now. So I have to first say that we are going through a legal process of filing through the Securities and Exchange Commission,
sure,
and FINRA, in order to apply to the what's called an equity crowdfunding portal. I have to also say that we're not approved yet by either the SEC or FINRA. So, just from a legal point of view, but what we're doing is equity crowdfunding is a process where individuals are able to put money together in order to help fund businesses. And
sure,
the project is based on the concept that if 10,000 individuals came together and put in $100 each, that's $1 million, and our businesses can start to be funded. Jobs can be created, and black wealth can be built. So,
yes, it's definitely a familiar model, and certainly hopeful that you're able to receive that licensing and so forth that you're seeking, because it will do a wealth of good. I mean, imagine 100 times 100 with that concept, and how many more businesses will get the funding that they need.
Absolutely. That was one of the big things. I have a background as a business plan writer, and I just saw a lot of great entrepreneurs that were not able to get the capital that they were looking for. So, we're starting off with the education piece, educating investors, educating entrepreneurs, with the hope and the application that will be accepted to potentially be an equity crowdfunding portal and be able to bring this to the community.
It's very powerful. Recently, we had Ron Busby on the show. You're probably familiar.
I do know who he is.
Leads the U.S. Black Chamber Organization. And one of the things that he said that was powerful is that the first, second, and third reason that Black business owners fail is lack of access to capital, right? And so as an organization, I know that's one of the things that we realized very early on is that we could not afford as a community to focus solely on supporting Black-owned businesses, the consumer aspect. Oh, I'm going to buy Black. Buying Black is great, right? But Black business owners need education and they need capital in order to become a thriving entity. So I think it's powerful, the work that you're doing. Give us sort of long-term, 5 years from now, what is your hope in terms of vision for this initiative?
Yeah, well, I mean, our hope and prayer is that we can, first of all, as I was saying, with the 3.5%, that's like 1.4 million of us come together in order to do this so that we can create real economic change from the ground up. We would want people actively participating in it, and that means, building a portfolio of businesses that they would want to support.
Sure.
And that could be supporting in terms of, again, if we're approved, because I got to say that for legal purposes, if we're approved, finding businesses that they would want to support potentially as an investor, potentially as a customer, maybe both.
Right.
We are also having a business directory for people who are business specialists, whether you are a CPA, attorney, project manager. These companies are going to need to hire people part-time, full-time, and as independent contractors. And what we want to develop is an ecosystem where we can do business with each other and we all can build Black wealth and build a greater Black economy.
Yeah. Let me challenge you just a bit.
Sure.
First, though, let me ask, is this a response to the current sort of climate, the current kind of media outpouring, the display that we're witnessing now in terms of this issue around racism and the impact on our community?
It's really funny you ask that because the answer is no, in a way. This idea started actually 3 years ago with me saying to a group of people, hey, if 10,000 people came together, put in $100 each, that's $1 million. The community can start funding its own businesses and creating jobs. And after 3 years of saying it, I was speaking to the same people for 3 years, and finally they looked back at me one day and said, well, when are you going to do something about that?
Right.
So that specific conversation happened in December before all of this.
Yeah.
So
we had no idea.
We had no idea that 2020 was going to be the year that it was. I thought the craziest thing that was going to happen this year was going to be the election, and instead,
I know. We had like two other huge things that, so it's actually very interesting that have had an impact on the election. I would say already, just in terms of some of what we're watching play out. So, so my challenge question. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think it's not only affecting the election, it's affecting us as individuals.
Yeah, for sure.
Our families. It's affecting people stepping back and thinking, what do I really want from my life? What do I really want from my family, my community, and how can I contribute? Yeah. And that's been one of the great things that I've seen personally.
Let me ask this follow-up question. So, having, like you, been in this space, been watching about the last 4 years and really focused head down on this, I have seen a ton of new entities, new efforts, new initiatives that pop up this year, right? Everyone wants to do something. And then there are some other sort of efforts that have been ongoing. And one example is Jay Morrison's work. I don't know if you're familiar with Jay down in Atlanta, right? Yeah. So someone might say as a challenge, well, why can't we galvanize this energy and get behind what Jay is doing, which is focused on obviously Black wealth and looking at, leveraging real estate and things like that. Why do we need another initiative? And then when you look from the outside, it's why does our community seem fragmented in so many different areas, right? I know that's a big question, but
that is a huge
I want to pose that to you, in thinking about getting this thing off the ground.
Well, I'm going to answer your question probably from the sideways more than head on. I'm going to say in the greater community, there isn't just one bank. You have multiple banks. You have big banks, you have small banks, you have regional banks, etc. You have multiple places that you can go to do stock investing, everything from apps to, 100-plus-year-old organizations. So I believe that we can tackle the problem from multiple different areas and ways and using different types of legislation. The legislation that Jay is using is different from the legislation that we're using. So we've decided on a different path. And
I think it's a beautiful answer.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a one-size-fits-all,
exactly.
Particularly when the issue that our community is facing is multifaceted and it's long-standing and it's deep-seated. We need all of the initiatives that we can muster. So there's a place and a space for exactly what you're building.
Right. And just because someone decides that they want to support, the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, for example, or Buy the Block, or any of the other, there are rewards-based crowdfunding portals and all of that, doesn't mean that we're slighted at 10.
Correct.
It just means that each individual has a way of saying, hey, this is how I want to participate in uplifting the economics within the community.
Yes. And
I think that as long as we are focused on that, then we'll win. We'll be fine.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And the beauty is, to the extent that you are providing a platform for participation in that economic empowerment piece, then wow, that's certainly a win, because folks are looking for, okay, where is a vehicle that I can support, that I can participate in and feel good about. So I'm super excited for what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Talk a little bit about kind of how we can get involved in terms of any aspect of it. So how can we benefit from the education that you're providing? What would some next steps be for those that are interested?
So I would suggest people come to our website. That's the10kproject.com, THE10kproject.com. And on that website, you can find out a little bit more about us, and we also have some upcoming events.
Okay, great.
Any of the events that you decide to come to, they're all online. So you're able to come, and once you register for an event, then you are able to, you also get on our email list where we send you upcoming events. We send you some of the things we're doing behind the scenes as we're applying for SEC and FINRA approval. We have all sorts of conversations and guests coming, anywhere from credit repair to how to create an investment portfolio, to a family that started putting $25 in the pot together about 25 years ago and now have amassed 7 figures in what they call a family bank, and how they did it and everything in between. So, the best way is for people to get on our email list, and the way to do that is to come to the10kproject.com, and you can sign up for any event that you like, and you'll automatically get on the list.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I'm certainly looking forward to attending some of the events myself.
And I will say one last thing. Some of the events are free. We have a lot of events that are free. We do have some events that are for members only, so okay. I just want to let people know that as well.
So there's a membership.
Yeah, there is for people who choose to have more advanced knowledge.
Good, okay.
Then yes. And, we would encourage people, don't even worry about paying or membership or anything. Come to one of our free sessions first. Get a feel for us.
Yeah.
You can also find us on social media everywhere at Black 10K Project. Get a feel for us. And then when you feel comfortable, you say, you know what, I really like this group. Then, at that time, you can decide if you want to be a part of the membership group.
Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Awesome. We've got about 3 minutes. Is there anything else you want to share in terms of the organization or anything else?
Sure.
Want to talk about those upcoming events?
We can talk about a couple of the upcoming events, or we could talk about the economic study that we're doing.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we have hired an economist. I call him Eddie the Economist, and he is he's in the PhD program at Howard University, and he is working with us on an economic report that will be coming out if and when we receive our SEC and FINRA approval. And it is all about the fact that, for example, did you know that within Black businesses, we have something called a leakage, meaning that if we do business with a Black business, then the chances of them doing business with another Black business and that money staying in the community is very slim. So we have what's called a 98% leakage in the Black community, meaning that we only get 2% of those business dollars.
Mm-hmm. So I've not heard it termed in exactly that way, but yes, I'm very familiar with this idea that we're not really sustaining the dollar in our community. I know Maggie Anderson did some pioneering work in that regard.
So even with her, she made it a point to buy Black. However, if the suppliers of that Black vendor are not Black, then you all of a sudden see what's called leakage.
Right.
And this is something that Eddie has introduced us to. Mm-hmm. What we want to do, again, if and when, because I got to say it for legal purposes, if we are approved with SEC and FINRA for equity crowdfunding, is we're looking at 5 different industries, and we want to do some laser targeting on businesses that we can help support through funding to close some of that leakage. And that economic report, is what we're working on internally, and it will be released, prayerfully in 2021.
Yeah.
So, yes, I would encourage people to, again, come to the10kproject.com. If you're on our email list, you would get access to that economic report when it's released. And this is the type of work that we're doing to be very focused and mission-driven with what we are, with what we're doing. And helping everyone come together. So
beautiful. Thank you so much, Cheree, for these efforts. This has been a phenomenal talk. I certainly look forward to, and we'll invite you back to the show as things progress. I want to hear more about how things are going, the businesses that have entered the portfolio, the results of the study, and everything else that you're doing. This is great.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you to all your audience as well.
For sure. And a huge thank you to today's sponsors, Apex Financial Group of Virginia, as well as the COO team and Milestone Mental Health Agency. And thank you for tuning in to Black Wall Street today, where we're building minds, building connections, and forging the path ahead toward business success in the Black community. We'll talk next week. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
This show is brought to you by Positive Vibes Incorporated, our consulting services. We do credit fixes, tax resolution, we lend private money to real estate investors, and we do debt consolidations. Basically, we put money in your pocket when you need money. We put money in your pocket when you need money. 757-932-0177. Throughout the United States, credit fixes, tax resolution, lending private money to real estate investors, and debt consolidation. 757-932-0177. 757-932-0177.
Phenomenal. Stay with us online at Black Wall Street Today on Facebook and Black Wall Street Today on Instagram, and then follow us on Twitter as well at BWS Today. We look forward to talking again next week. Have a wonderful week. I have said and I will continue to say that the most important priority for the Black community is the Black community, not a particular political party.
Phenomenal. Hey, yo, when I say black, you say Wall Street. Black Wall Street. When I say black, you say Wall Street. Black. When I say black, you say Wall Street. Black. When I say black, you say Wall Street. Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street.